Hello, it's like here to show you the Dora the Explorer, and letter M is like mountain by count. Is you have it to where you got Dora the Explorer along with pony, and then along right here is that you got backpack right here is like full of apples, or it could be tomatoes, but you have it to where you got boots right here, but you have it to where I went ahead and what you call drew like what you say a diagram, or you want to call it, that is a mountain full of what you say of apples, and apples or tomatoes, or it could be oranges, or whatever that you would find in like a normal garden or whatever. But if you see, if all of us have seen the previous letter colorings, which talking about the gardening, and then about the money tree, along with the money pyramid, but this part right here is he was talking about is fractions, and more like is like people, a lot of people would probably say that you say math was not their favorite subject, and wasn't mine either, and of course it's obvious that and then you begin to wonder why it never really was, and maybe it was at one time, maybe in the 3rd or 4th grade. And then whenever you got into the 8th grade, on to 9th and 10th grade year, in high school years, or it could be college also, that it may not have been your favorite subject either, maybe not been your favorite interest, and but the thing about what I always thought about math is that I remember that I would whenever I was younger, I would you see a lot of people probably say they'll do it for the grade, or they'll do it just for the heck of it, or they'll do it because they're told to, whatever. But a lot of times that if any of us here have ever thought about doing math just to save money, time, and along with effort, just to really understand about how it works, is that the way I always thought about math is that no matter if it was to say whatever type of math that there is, basic math, or it could be by say whatever type of, other than fractions, that you have it, you got algebra, or you have basic math, or alternate count math, or whatever you call it, say so far we say biography type math, but anyway, say chemistry, or whatever, calculus. It's like I would say that I probably heard that there's about maybe 10 different subjects altogether in math. But you have it to where you get to the counts is at 1 2/4, and then at 3/4, and then 1 1/3, and 1 1/8, and then you get 2 3/4. Is you got the fractions right here, which basically is the whole thing about the fraction is that you're pretty much counting. It's like how much was taken, and how much is left. Just like say is like a fuel tank, which I'm sure a lot of us know that maybe we can use that as a good example so far as prices at the pump as they go up and down. Is how much are you being charged a gallon, and maybe an ounce, or whatever. It takes a lot of measurement, but so far as you say, this is that mountain by count is that you pretty much build yourself like a mountain right here, and more likely they say that how do you get to the top? It's like you start from the bottom, and you work your way towards the top. And a lot of people will probably say you don't have enough to get to the top. Well, I guess you say that when the number, you can maybe use a heart as an example, not to divide the heart into 2 or 3/4 or whatever you call it, but to collect the hearts. Collect the number of hearts is how many hearts is equal to. It's like so far as putting them together as like a puzzle and forming like a mountain shape. But which I would probably say that so far with math, that I may recommend is to maybe make yourself like a little chart, pyramid, just to kind of keep track of counts. That that would include like what how much money you're working with, and so far as so far as maybe paying bills, but so far as how much money you have working with, and then the number of how much is equal to what. But I used to say that that we can maybe use a garden as an example, which the garden, which contains, like, you got tulips and roses or whatever you call it. You got the roses right there, violettes, or we used to say, like from the previous. It's like roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. But it's like we got to have it to where that if you can grow your own bubble gum, then it's like how many, how it's like you grow your own bubble gum, then it's like to raise money that way. But I don't know. Some people say that you may not make that much with all at the same time, all at once. But to have it, you color the leaf, and I would say that use the leaf as like an example right here. Using the leaf as an example is if you were to color in a little bit of the leaf, not a whole lot of blue, but just a little bit, but to use a leaf as an example of a fraction, that you have it to where you got these different parts of the leaf to where you follow step by step, and then you have it to where you put the green along with the pink, and along with like this you get a little bit of the purple, but you got the blue, but then you count out how much you have left to go. And of course a lot of us will probably hear is that the starting point would begin probably about negative. It goes from right at even to negative. The starting point would be at about right here, and then you would go to where it goes to the positive and up. You begin your journey. You begin your journey just by following. It's like the rainbow is how many raindrops it takes really for a plant to grow. But you have it to where you get that number of fraction problems, and you color in each one of them. It's like that goes with 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then after that, and then it goes. You get the purple. I guess we use purple again, just to use it for outline. I guess you could say that you can mix a couple of the colors too. It's like how many colors is equal to a rainbow, and I was guessing more like about 7. But you have it to where you color in a number of these right here, a number of these boxes. You got see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course there will probably be more than 7 of these sections of the leaf right there. And just kind of blend in the colors a little bit, layer by layer. As if we all remember, if you cut the limb of the tree, then that's how much is left until you gotta let it grow again. But of course, with the leaf, we're talking about colors. Is filling in the spots. It's like you got that. You see the blank spots right there. But of course, you use the yellow to make the number. It's like the letter M visible, but then not to add a whole lot of a coloring, to that, to such parts of the leaf. Just a little bit, just to kind of bring out the color. But you have it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, and then you say that you can, in a number of counts, which will probably be equal to about a fraction. Is like you say the whole circle of the fraction, along with, so you got that which this fraction more like will be like 1/4. We say this if you cut it into like 4 different slices. But you have it to where you fill in a few of these boxes right here, and then follow the patterns as you go. And of course, go ahead and add a little bit more blue to these parts. But if follow the footsteps to how long, how many times, it's like so far as building up your savings. But I'll probably say that the number of times I would probably learn a math problem, I would say it was at least 8 times. I would probably say if I were to do like long division or subtraction or addition, whatever you call it, that I would probably say I learned at least 8 times before I got the hang of it, and then I would kind of forget how to do it. And then it's like you say you start from square one, and you have to do it all over again. But I really think that if you can maybe do something that like this, like a, do like a